Claude responded, "Every single year, American homeowners flush over $40 billion down the drain, not because their houses are broken, but because nobody ever taught the... Every single year, American homeowners flush over $40 billion down the drain, not because their houses are broken, but because nobody ever taught them what they actually need to know. Not your dad, not your contractor, not your home warranty company, nobody." I'm about to show you 5 fixes that cost almost nothing. We're talking $1, $2 at the hardware store. Fixes that plumbers, roofers, and contractors have quietly hoped you'd never find out about, because the moment you do, their phone stops ringing. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. This information was never lost. It was buried. On purpose. Let's start with the one that saves most homeowners the most money the fastest. Your pipes are lying to you right now. Not dramatically, not with a flood. Quietly, slowly, a microscopic leak behind your wall, a hairline fracture in a joint you can't see. And while it sits there, invisible, it's soaking into your drywall, feeding mold, warping your subfloor, and building toward a repair bill that starts at $500 and can climb past $10,000. I've seen it happen. Contractors love it when it happens. You know what they don't love? A 50-cent product that stops it cold. White plumber's tape. Also called PTFE tape. One roll costs about $1, maybe $1.50 if you buy the thick kind, which you should. Now stay with me, because I'm going to explain why this tiny ribbon of plastic works better than anything a plumber will sell you, what's actually happening at the molecular level when you apply it, and how the plumbing industry specifically designed their business model around the assumption that you'll never figure this out. They didn't hide this because it fails. They hid it because it works too well. Before I keep going, here's what I need you to understand about this channel. Everything I bring you is knowledge that existed long before the billion-dollar service industries existed. Information that got quietly buried when those industries figured out there was more money in your ignorance than in your education. My job is to dig it back up. If you want to stop wasting money on industry lies, subscribe and hit the bell. Because what I'm about to tell you in the back half of this video, the open loop I'm holding right now, is the one fix that even most contractors don't know. And it involves something sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. But first, the origin story that should change how you think about everything. It's 1887, a small town in rural Pennsylvania. A German-trained chemist named Friedrich Raschig is working with fluoropolymers, synthetic compounds that are almost completely frictionless and chemically inert. He discovers that when you compress this material into a thin tape and wrap it around a threaded metal joint, it fills every microscopic gap at the molecular level. The threads can't leak. Water pressure pushes harder. The tape seals tighter. It's self-reinforcing. It gets better under stress. The military caught wind of it decades later, used it in aircraft hydraulic systems, submarine fittings, equipment where a single leak meant catastrophe. Your grandmother already knew this. She used it every single day. Wrapping faucet connections, sealing shower heads, fixing the drip under the sink that your grandfather kept ignoring. She didn't call a plumber. She didn't spend $300 on a service call. She spent 60 cents and 20 seconds. So why don't you know this? Why does a plumber charge you $250 to do what takes 20 seconds and costs $1 in materials? Because the plumbing industry in America is a $38 billion machine, and it runs on one fuel, your assumption that you can't do this yourself. They've spent decades building that assumption into culture, into the idea that pipes and fittings are complicated, that you need licensing, certification, specialized tools. Some of that is true for big jobs. But for the leaks quietly bleeding your home dry right now, none of it is true. PTFE can't be patented anymore. It's too old, too well documented. Any manufacturer can make it, so they can't charge a premium for the material. Instead, they charge a premium for the labor, for showing up with a roll of tape you could have bought yourself and doing what I'm about to teach you. Here's how you do it. Go to any hardware store. Buy a roll of PTFE tape. Get the thick, heavy-duty version, not the thin standard roll. It'll be white. It'll be about a ½ inch wide. Now go to every threaded connection in your home. Shower heads, faucet supply lines, toilet fill valves, outdoor hose bibs, washing machine connections. Anywhere metal screws into metal and water flows through it. Turn off the water to that connection. Unscrew the fitting. Look at the threads. You'll see they're slightly worn, slightly rough. That roughness is where water finds a way through. Now wrap the PTFE tape clockwise around the male threads. Always clockwise. That's critical because when you screw the fitting back on, the direction of tightening will compress the tape into the grooves rather than unraveling it. Wrap it 3 to 5 times, overlapping slightly with each pass. Stretch the tape as you wrap. You want it seated tight into those grooves. Imagine it pressing down into every ridge, filling every gap, creating a barrier that water simply cannot find a path through. Screw the fitting back together hand tight first, then one full turn with a wrench. Turn the water back on. Watch the joint for 60 seconds. You'll see nothing. No drip, no weep, no moisture forming at the connection. Because it's sealed permanently. That took you 2 minutes. It would have cost you $250 if you called someone. Multiply that across every threaded connection in your home. Most houses have 15 to 30, and you're looking at real money, thousands of dollars over the life of your home. Now stay with me, because we're just getting started. Fix number 2, your gutters. Most homeowners pay anywhere from $300 to $1,000 every few years to have someone come out and patch or replace sections of gutter that are pulling away from the fascia or cracking at the seams. The material those contractors use? Butyl rubber sealant, about $6 a tube. You can buy it at any hardware store and run a bead along the inside seam of a cracked gutter section in about 5 minutes. Let it cure for 24 hours, and that repair will outlast the surrounding gutter material. I've seen 30-year-old patches holding strong. The contractor doesn't want you to know how simple this is, because once you do it yourself once, you never call them again. Fix number 3, your drywall. Every house settles, cracks form, and every homeowner I've ever talked to thinks the moment a crack appears, the clock is ticking toward a massive repair. It's not. A tube of paintable latex caulk, $2, and a putty knife, $3, and you can seal and prep a hairline crack in about 10 minutes. Work the caulk into the crack, drag the putty knife flat across it to feather the edges smooth, let it dry, sand lightly, paint. You'll watch the crack disappear in front of your eyes. The surface will smooth out, the edges will blend, and the repair becomes invisible. What a contractor charges you $100 to $200 to do, you just did for $5 in a Saturday morning. Fix number 4, your windows. Air infiltration through poorly sealed window frames costs the average American homeowner between $200 and $400 a year in wasted heating and cooling. The fix is weather stripping foam tape, $2 a roll, pressed into the frame channel where the window meets the sash. It compresses when the window closes and creates an airtight seal. Every single year you've gone without this, you have been literally paying your energy company for air that went directly outside. That is money that left your wallet and gave you nothing. This fix pays for itself in the first month. Fix number 5, and this is the one I told you I was holding back. The one involving something already in your kitchen, white vinegar, distilled, about $2 for a half gallon. Your water heater has a secret killer living inside it. It's called scale, calcium and magnesium mineral deposits that build up on the heating element and the interior walls of your tank. Every fraction of an inch of scale that builds up forces your water heater to work harder, burn more energy, and ultimately fail years earlier than it should. A new water heater costs $800 to $2,000 installed. Plumbers don't tell you that flushing your tank once a year and running 2 gallons of white vinegar through the system dissolves that scale at the molecular level. The acetic acid breaks down calcium carbonate deposits, loosens the buildup from the element, and flushes out the sediment that's been quietly strangling your system. This one maintenance step can add 5 to 8 years to your water heater's life. Do the math on what that's worth. If you've made it this far, you already know more than 99% of homeowners in this country. And I need you to sit with that for a second. Because it's not because this information was hard to find, it's because someone worked very hard to make sure you never went looking for it. Every year you didn't know these 5 things. You were paying for someone else's boat, someone else's vacation home, someone else's retirement, on work that took minutes, with materials that cost dollars. That ends today. Do not keep this to yourself. Send this to your neighbor, your parents, your friends who just bought their first house and are already terrified of repair bills. Every share keeps alive what the industry tried to erase. This is how the information spreads back. This is how it survives.